once I got into a life of crime, so to speak, right, I just kind of forsake that, right? Forsook it, or however you say it. And so when I got to prison, I just found myself in a way, in a lost, like a really lost way, just like deep.
Big Boy's Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It is a pleasure to have this man back in the neighborhood, man. Lyfe, welcome back to the neighborhood, bro.
Lyfe?
Hey, man, Lyfe saw them bells ring. He was like, y'all still do that shit?
They say Big Boy.
Hey, dude, he was like, was I supposed to join into that? like, man, like, if you need anybody to open up for you, man, when you're on the road.
We got you.
Yeah, man, he's a bellologist right there.
Yeah, man.
First off, Lyfe, welcome back to the neighborhood, man.
Thank you. Been a grip, right?
I know, man. It's crazy, man. I think our first sit down was 2 decades ago, man.
20 years ago.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy that you know that we not. Oh, it's crazy we still going, but it's crazy that we still go. You know what I'm saying? Veteran and relevant at the same time, man. And you can't put an expiration date on the great, bro. You know?
When you're doing something with purpose, it just don't go out of style.
Yeah, bro. And do you still? And I know decades later, do you still enjoy it?
I still love it, bro.
Yeah,
like
man.
The first time. Man.
Hey, man, and it's crazy because literally one of our first interviews, it was new artists. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And kind of introducing you to those that didn't know. But I was so on top of you just as a performer. And not knowing that from that moment on, from the first album, that you would just continue to drop hits and continue to keep your voice right and stay on stage. And it's crazy because Ani that worked with us, man. Ani was saying, what did you say about SEX with sex?
SEX, like that changed my life and my friend's life because we heard it when we were really young and the words are so powerful in that song. And then when Lala comes in and she's talking to you, it's just like, it's a really, like, it changed my life.
But does it trip you out how people how they grab onto your music at certain points or there's introductions? You know, if they don't know it from the beginning, they'll know when you dropped something or they'll find out like, oh, okay, I didn't know he had this. Is it crazy that you got that much of a catalog now?
I mean, yes, it's really more flattering than anything else. Like this young lady right here, like, I've heard it before, like with my situation going on in the media right now, that, you know, younger kids would be like, what, he only got 2 or 3 songs, and they think that that's like a bad thing. But, bro, if you 22 or 23 and my stuff came out 20 years ago when you was 2 or 3, and you know 2 or 3 of my songs, that's a win.
What's going on in the media? Did I miss something? You said...
Nah, you know, everybody was just tripping because I just made a comment, right, that Tiny Desk says that I wasn't a big enough artist to perform on that
They didn't
platform.
really say that, though, right?
Yeah, they actually did. But they said the caliber. These are just words that they use. But basically, I'm not
like
big enough.
Officially, Tiny Desk said that?
This is what they told me. This is what they told my people, man.
Was it a rejection?
Yeah, so you know, like, again, this is just to clarify. When you're going out doing press runs, your publicists reach out to all folks like, hey, it's doing this thing, like, you know, Lyfe, you know, we could come on there and blah. And they was just talking about he's not the caliber artist and blah, blah, blah. That happened on there, you know. And I just made a comment, and it just, you know, it just went everywhere.
Lyfe, let me tell you, on the real, this is my first time hearing of this, right? But it is shocking that they would say that you're not the caliber of artist, or for NPR Tiny Desk to say that you couldn't, that's crazy, bro.
Bro, it's crazy.
The catalog that you have, and then you know how they say if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You don't have to get ready.
True.
Which is so strange to me, bro, because, and no disrespect to anybody that's made it onto Tiny Desk.
Right.
But, and we've been in positions where we've been saying, man, whoever's at Tiny Desk, we thought that they were on top of shit right now. And the reason why I say this, man, because they've been so genre friendly.
And that was my thing. Like, when you are claimingly to be a part of the genre, then you really have to show respect to the genre. And even though I didn't feel like it was super disrespectful or anything, because it's their platform, they have a right to do it. But come on, bro. Like, this year alone, I done did 90 shows already, just this year alone, bro. Like, if I'm not the caliber of artist that's supposed to be on there.
Lyfe, I can't
hey,
understand it, bro.
know.
Like, did you put hands on the dude that picks this when you were younger? Or,
Nah, it's
like,
crazy.
where does this come from?
Nah.
Like, that is one of them things, man. If you didn't say that right now, and I think, Ani, you had hiccuped something earlier.
I read something online where I was like, wait, is that right? I don't know. It didn't seem real.
Hey, man, yeah, and I don't want to spend an entire moment continue to talk about it, man, but if there is a Tiny Desk fail, that's a Tiny Desk fail, bro, and especially, like, you've been over ready for that. And when you look at Tiny Desk and we look at the performances, man, like, I wouldn't have tripped off if I saw, like, in the menu, like, oh, man, you know, Lyfe Tiny Desk. I wouldn't be like, Tiny Desk, Lyfe. I would be like, dude, when does it drop? That's crazy to me, bro.
I mean, but again, it's their platform, bro. I don't feel no kind of way. I just mentioned
Well, why do I do?
But you know what, though? That's what made it big. The fans went crazy. Like, what? Like, Lyfe Gang?
Hey, man, Lyfe, I wish I had a little moment so I wouldn't seem as, like, so, like, you know, I wish I was, like, had a chance to, like, oh, okay. But, you know, for me, bro, you're like a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives.
And mine.
Yeah, and your life is a soundtrack, bro. And you introduced us to life the way no one introduced us to an artist or in your lifestyle. And you know what I'm saying? And there is something that is so ingrained in you that I couldn't imagine. Even when you listen to your albums, bro, there's stories to it. And even and the way that you connect songs by dialogue as well. Like, that is, man, that's a no-brainer when it comes to sitting down. And you got the talent to do it, the catalog to do it. Even if you just got up there and had a guitar and a tight-ass band and you just did the alphabet, I'd be like, oh, he killed that shit. But your songs have substance to it, man. And you know what's crazy, man, is that you kind of you do want it, but then it's like, okay, well, if I didn't get it, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I got a fan base. You know, you don't validate me. The same way when I saw Lil Wayne didn't get the Super Bowl, I thought that was low-hanging fruit for that moment. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, well, you know, that don't validate me. I'll keep going. But it is shitty to me.
You know, it was this one thing that stood out about college, and you guys excuse me, I don't remember a lot of stuff, but it was one law. I don't even remember the name of the law, but it said that the most important of any given number is always going to be the smallest number.
And break that down.
I mean, meaning
I know
that,
what you're talking. Go.
Right. The thing, if you have 1 million things, it's probably only like 5 of them that are really, really important.
Yes,
but
man.
Don't nobody really know. They never say name the 5. They don't really know. You see what I'm saying? But yet and still, they are still the most important thing.
Hey, man, it's crazy because even in life, there's certain things. You know how people say, oh, it could be worse? Like, there's just certain things that's going on right now. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I know what's important. And I know what's important, so I overfeel you. I overstand what you're saying right there, man. And just being here in the neighborhood, we got to say just congratulations on a great tour, and not great tour, but the great success that continues to grow, bro.
And I'm happy, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Bro, it's like so much is clicking in my life, man. I'm older. I'm not in prison. You know what I'm saying? My family is happy. I mean, like I just said, we did 90 shows this year already. We got so many other things still going on and popping just business-wise for me, man. It's like I feel like I'm really just starting to click, like right now.
Hey, man, let me tell you, and when you say click right now, I've been in radio 30 years, right? I just was at a Dodger watch party, and there was a dude there that never heard of me. You know what I'm saying? So I was in a position. It's like you're always meeting someone new. Someone is always grabbing on to a new Lyfe record or older Lyfe record or an introduction. Even as people that's going to be sitting down watching this and listening to this, that maybe this is their first introduction. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because the guy was like, man, so many people are coming up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, who are you? You know, and I told him, I said, man, my name is Big Boy. I do radio here and I do television and YouTube. And he was like, no, he said, the way that they're coming up to you, but that was his introduction to me. And I remember I was talking with Ani, and I said, Ani, do you know Lyfe's story? Because we were briefly we were just talking about how, SEX, how sex changed her life, even though she's still a virgin. But anyway, but we were talking about it, and I said, do you know Lyfe's story? And she didn't know like your story. You know what I'm saying? And I told
22 or something like that.
No.
She's just a little older. You know what I'm saying?
Bit.
Just a little older. But for those who don't know, man, my introduction to Lyfe was Showtime at the Apollo. You know what I'm saying? And are you familiar with the TV show Showtime at the Apollo, or what they do at the Apollo?
I don't know what they do, but I've heard of it before.
Okay, so at the Apollo, there's a thing where they have like amateur night. And I'm talking about all the way back to the 60s. And you see some of the greatest people that's been on amateur night that either, even Lauryn Hill got booed.
Whoa.
So it's one of them things where it's like, when you show up, you performing for people that damn near walked from Harlem to get there. You know what I'm saying? And
they mad, they hungry.
Yes, man. And you already come out and their arms are crossed like this. So from your first note, if you don't hit right, or if you think you're a comedian, or you think you're singing and don't come out to do no Whitney Houston, as soon as you start, they boo you. Boo! And I'm talking about, and then you hear this, then the Sandman come out and dance you off the stage. It's humiliating. So Lyfe, tell her your story, bro. Like how you ended up at the Apollo.
Well, I mean, it started even before the Apollo. Yeah. I was in prison, you know what I'm saying, doing like 10 years, 11 years that first time. And I wrote a letter to the Apollo. And usually they don't even take letters. So ironically, they wrote me back and they was like, yo, we don't know when you getting out. We didn't even know that you was in prison, but we don't know when you getting out of prison, but we got a date coming up on this particular date. And I happen to be just getting out right before that date. So I go down to the Apollo, get down there, and
how long were you out, Lyfe, before being released to
weeks, just a matter of weeks. And so I get down to Apollo, and it's so crazy because it was just like prison at the Apollo. I get to playing my guitar, and the whole building that was at the Apollo was around me while I'm playing my action. It felt good because it was. Everybody was trying to tell me you should do this song. It's like we trying to decide what songs to do on Apollo.
And are you self-taught in prison to play guitar and everything?
Yeah.
Hey, Lyfe, and we have a guitar in here, right? And I don't know if it's tuned or anything, but if we didn't bring that in because of you, we had it in here yesterday.
Yeah, that's random.
But see how God works?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, Lyfe, I don't know.
This could be my tiny desk.
Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do a thing called Big Desk.
Big desk. Big
Yeah,
desk.
man. So you didn't know what song to perform.
Yeah, we didn't know. I didn't know what song I was performing. So collectively, and I don't even remember these guys' names, but never told them thank you. But we tell them thank you right now. We picked the song and we went out. We did the song. So I never forget. After I done the song, I won one time. And there was a lady that worked there, and the lady, when we came back, she's like, well, congratulations, you won this one time. You get to go back to your family, and I just want you to stay on the right path, Lyfe. I don't want you concerned about winning tonight because there's this guy here tonight that played the violin, and I don't want your hopes too high and be let down.
Oh.
So I went through that.
So she was setting you up for failure.
Yeah, so I went out the second time, won the second time, right? And then the second time I come back in, and she say, Lyfe, oh my God, 2 times, Lyfe. Like, you are really on the right path. Now, I just want you to go on, but I don't want you to get your hopes up, not to be bear bad news, but it's this girl here tonight that everybody like, you gotta, just don't get it up too high. So I go out the third time, and I win again. Fourth time, I win again. So then the fifth time I was going out, I just heard her in a corner telling some young lady, she was like, you amazing. Like, you doing your thing out here. But don't get your hopes up too high because there's this guy named Lyfe.
Hey, man. She was called Black Widow. Yeah, man. When you look at her, you be like, okay, what's her name? Oh, Miss Dream Killer. That's all right, Miss Dream Killer, man. But you knew how to keep all that out of your head, though, right?
Man, I was just happy. Honestly, I'm one of them dudes big, like, bro, I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man.
Because I know it just could have been different. I don't care nothing about no tiny desk. I don't care nothing about being the most popular or the person on the TV all the time. I'm just happy to be here, able to take care of my kids, doing what I love.
And you got a great fan base as well, man. And I remember years ago, Luther Vandross said, man, he said, I would rather sell 1 million copies 15 times over, like 15 albums that sell 1 million copies than one album that sells 15 million. And the one thing that you've done, bro, is that you got such a great following. And I also know that anytime you release something like I know that it's going to be quality. You know what I'm saying? Because you already, I mean, from my first introduction to you, bro, my first introduction, and I remember, dude, I used to literally buy your CD and I would hand it to people. I probably purchased probably 50 CDs easy.
Bro, I don't even think you remember. I came in here one time, you had a whole stack of my CDs that you just wanted me to sign because you said you just pass out.
Yep. Hey, dude, I would buy, and I'm talking about, it wasn't a record label that like, oh, I need a box. I would literally buy them, and I would bless people when and anytime people got in my car, it was like a listening party. And they'd be like, who's this? And I'm like, man, this is Brother Lyfe, whoop, 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 whoop. And then if I didn't give it to them, they would either buy it. And it's like this. Even my wife, when I introduced her to your music, bro, it was like a no-brainer. And I'm talking about, bro, I kicked in. It was a label I could have called, but I was like, nah, bro, you gotta listen. You gotta listen. And you have not failed me or people that know what's going down. You haven't failed us since, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you. I mean a lot coming from you, because I know, you know, somebody in your position, you run across all the artists.
Oh, yeah.
Not some of them. You run across all of them.
Yeah, man.
So for you to speak, you know, timelessness into what it is I do, I know that I don't take that lightly.
Hey, man, and it's crazy, man, for your first album, 268-192, which is, you know what I'm saying, your number.
Prison number. Right?
Yeah, man. When you first dropped that, did you understand the longevity of good music?
I just had this conversation with somebody. I really didn't understand anything, and that probably was the greatest thing, because my total purpose was to just write music that somebody that's going through the same thing could get something out of. I didn't have another agenda. It wasn't making money. It wasn't becoming famous. It just was about writing something that somebody in that position could be helped by the music getting out of that position.
Were you always into music life, or when you were doing your first the 10-year bid, did you find music?
You know, I had a singing family. So, you know, before I went to prison, I used to sing with a group and all of that. But once I got into a life of crime, so to speak, right, I just kind of forsook it, or however you say it. And so when I got to prison, I just found myself in a really lost way, just like deep, just like everything you could think of, extortion, fights, just everything you could think of. And I just saw myself getting so deep in that. And you come to a crossroad to where you got to decide, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to go this way, but never forget, on the yard, saw a bunch of, you know, everywhere guys are popular in some form or fashion. So in prison, you got your little popular crew. And I see these guys, and I just ask myself, is this what you want your life to be? I'm like 16, 17 now. Is this what you want your life to be? So I needed something to kind of fill that gap if I wasn't doing this, and music remembered me. You know
How old were you, Lyfe, when you did your 10-year bid, like the Coming Home, that one?
14 or 15 going into that. And I did 11 years that time. Then I come home, and you forget, like, you know, you especially I came home and I got on right away, got some money.
Right.
Forgot, wound up going back for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Because you went back 3.5 years as Lyfe, though.
As Lyfe.
Yeah, man. And I remember
rough.
when I saw that pop up, because that's one of them things, man, where you get to experience something. Like a dream.
Yes.
You get to experience it, man. But I also understand that you put yourself in a position where you'll say, man, God, I'm telling you, this will never happen again. You know what I'm saying? Because I went through something, bro, where I was like, because I had a blessing. And then I messed it up. And I was literally like, God, if you get me through this one, then you'll never have to get me through anything this big. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you come home, you feeling this, and then you got to go back and give them another 3.5.
Yeah, you know, but you needed that reminder. I really needed that reminder because I was again on the way down. Because you forget, you know, and that's a beautiful thing, even to remember not to forget, you know. But after I came home that time, man, you know, disappointed mainly because I had kids then. So just to, you know, see my kids' face and have to talk to them on the phone and just think about that. Ironically, they could follow in the same footsteps that I had been in, and that was a no-go for me, man. I turned it all around after
And
that.
this is after the success, Lyfe. This is like,
Yeah, this is millions of dollars later.
Presidential
you know?
suites, tours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's got to be crazy to you when you have all that, because we know what it is beforehand. Then you get a taste of this life that you worked so hard for as an artist, and then to go back. You know what I'm saying?
It's humbling.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? When I went back too, I didn't even miss a beat. It's just like I killed everything that had happened, you know, being a celebrity or whatever. I just made sure I forgot about it, and I just went right back into my prison thing. But halfway through that bit, I just thought, like, if you can forget all of this stuff, why is it so easy to forget the great times and you can't just forget about all this nonsense that you was doing? It's a decision, man. And I made that decision that time.
Right, man. And you know what's crazy about that too, Lyfe, man, is that sometimes when we get up to the plate, we don't even get guaranteed a hit. And then to get back up to the plate again. You know what I'm saying?
And because the odds that you're getting a hit is low.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah. And even with the music business, or just people are fickle, man. You here today, you gone tonight. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody to sit down and do 3.5, you don't know what you're coming out to.
Right. And I actually came out on my knuckles. Like, you know, man, I just had so many blessings around the board,
man.
boy. You know, sometimes you just gotta really ask where your blessings is coming from, man, because you'll be thinking that it's you, and then when you try to do it, you can't do it, and it's not from you. You got a bigger mission. It's not even about you. It's about the people that you can touch, the people that you can inspire. And if you fumble that bad,
Yeah, man.
you know what I'm saying?
That 3.5, was that a gift and a curse, Lyfe?
It definitely was,
Yeah.
man. It was. I didn't want to be away from my kids, but I really needed that, bro. I really needed that, man, to get that last little bit of 21 out your system.
Right.
21.
Hey, man. And then you got to think, man, and people can say, oh, I wouldn't F it up, but when you're coming out and you're giving what appears to be, man, the world. You know what I'm saying? I got so many keys that open up so many doors, and so many keys that open up this, that, and the third. It's like that right there, man, is a drug too. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes when anybody that know anything about that, man, one's too many, 1,000's not enough. So you keep chasing that.
Man, you keep chasing. And I'm gonna speak on that because you say that, and I told myself that I was on one of these shows that I was on, and I was gonna talk about this. And I don't even usually be telling my business, but I'm gonna say this because I think it's important. Like you say, you feel like that the celebrity is a drug, right? And it definitely is a drug, but it is a whole genre of people out here who profit off of you being addicted to that drug or any other drug. And I wanted to speak about, man, I'm just going to speak about it. So I had a incident right before I went back to prison. This was part of the reason I went to prison. I had I forget what exactly happened. I think I got a car accident or something like that, and I had some little pain in me, so I wind up going to this doctor. Go to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed me some medication, right? And so I'm like, cool, I get the medication. And he was like, if you ever need this medication, just hit me and you can get this medication. So I took this medication, and he used to call me like, you need some more of that medication? And I used to be like, yeah, cool, send me. And then now he just prescribing me the medication just for nothing. I said, I got a sore throat, I just call it in. And then he started putting me on stronger, and I never even knew really what the medication was. So make a short story short, medication turned out to be what they call it, basically lean.
Oh, shit.
Right, so...
Like liquid form?
I went from the pills to the liquid, right? So, unbeknownst to me, being not lightweight, addicted to it. You dig what I'm saying? So I went through my own set of circumstances, went back to prison, wound up kicking that. But then years later, it was so crazy, I wind up seeing somebody that knew him, knew the doctor later on, and they was like, yo, you didn't hear about the situation. But basically what the doctor had been doing is, and this is why I'm telling this, what the doctor had been doing is for young cats, young successful cats, prescribing them these drugs unbeknownst to them so they get addicted to him so he can lightweight be their pusher.
Yeah, man.
So you got to watch out again for these genre of people. Yeah. Didn't even know I was addicted to nothing, but this man, he wound up getting like 50 years for doing this thing as a doctor. You got to be careful, man, because these people, they profit off of your downfall.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, man, and not only profit off your downfall, bro, there's people that's in the circles, and that's just what they do. Everybody know a guy. You know what I'm saying? And
I had no idea, though. Like, that is like, when I think about it, even now, it is just crazy that you would get a young cat addicted to drugs without his knowledge just so you can make some. That's ridiculous.
Was it hard for you to kick?
Yeah, it was, because I didn't know what I was kicking. Like, I literally had no idea what this man was doing, right? And it was just the most difficult thing because I just didn't know. I don't even smoke weed, like, you know what I'm saying? So having the drug in my system, I had no idea. And I really even never knew that he did it on purpose until, again, I was talking to somebody that knew him, and they talking about his legal situations. And I was like, what? Oh, well, such and such, and he got 50 years for this? I say, wow.
Hey, man, but you do hear when people would say, man, like there's so much out there, and people think a lot of stuff like comes with the business or you know better, and you know what I'm saying. But that's lifetime. Those are life lessons as well, and that's a lot of tuition into the school that's a lot of tuition into the school of experience, where you had to pay a lot.
That's why I wanted to say it. That's why I wanted to say that, because I've never even heard nobody speak on that before. And just from my experience, it's kind of embarrassing, for me. But I don't want that to happen to nobody else, bro. And I've seen other things that are similar, man. So somebody need to say something about that. Like,
but
y'all
you'll
be
see
careful,
people that say, man, it started from when I fell and I hurt my back.
Opioids,
and somebody just give it to you.
They just give you opioids, bro. Just like
whatever it is, codeine.
Yeah, man.
That's what it was, codeine.
Yeah.
Dude, I got some knee surgery, man, and they gave me some painkillers, bro. And they told me, they said you could take 6 of these a day. Lyfe, I had 3 knee surgeries, 2 total replaced knee surgeries. And then I got an infection in one, so I had to go back and they had to redo it. I don't think out of 3 surgeries, I don't think I took 12 of those. And they were trying to tell me I could take 6 a day.
Damn.
Yeah, hydrocodone or hydrocodone or something like that.
That's exactly what it is. It's hydrocodone.
Yeah, man. And I'm talking about, bro, but mine was in like a pill form. And I'm telling you, man, like one time I took it because we had to take a flight. And as soon as I got to the knee surgery, I had a physical therapist that came. And they told you, after you do the knee surgery, you got to walk. I'm walking that day. Then my physical therapist came by. They said, take one before physical therapy. So I took one before physical therapy. And my dude was doing my knee and all this. And I'm like, this is nothing. I'm like, man, I don't feel the pain. Then it dawned on me. I was like,
you took the pill.
It's the pill. And so I literally stopped it.
That's crazy.
And I just wanted to feel what the pain and the progress was every day, because I don't know exactly, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I know that I was over 500 pounds, so there's got to be something addictive in me. And I was like, man, no, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's debate, man. That is debate.
Yeah.
And you won't even know it. Nobody talk about that, man.
Right.
Nobody talks about that. So I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, man.
I ain't bore y'all with
No, not at all, bro. And then there's somebody else's life that need to hear that too.
Yeah.
Because if it's not being supplied as such, somebody's going through something. And it is an addiction, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see the people that we think is the strongest that got everything. And you're like, nah, man, and the good thing did that get you some of that time? Like
it did, bro. It was like, I don't think that codeine and stuff just numb physical pain. I think it also numbs mental pain. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just wild. Like, and you could I when I think back on that stuff, I could literally die. Like, I'm taking this, I'm drinking at the same time. sometimes I'm passing out and don't even know why. Because I'm one of them dudes, if I go to the hospital, it's about something.
Right.
If I pass out, long as I wake up, I ain't going to the hospital.
Right. I'm good.
You know? So it's just, man, it's just important to get this message out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Lyfe, about the 20-year anniversary of the first album.
20
Lyfe
years
260.
later,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. And before I get into that, with the 20 years later, your song that you just said, the SEX song.
Yeah.
So you know that the young lady that was on that song, Lala Brown, she passed away, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
Why do I feel like I know?
It was a double homicide in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
And was it her man or somebody? What?
Her, I don't know if it was a guy that she was seeing or just her producer, but
I
either way,
remember
both of
that,
them
bro.
still unsolved, you know.
Damn.
But what I was saying is, she passed away, and I've kept in touch with her daughter over the year. Cause when you met her before, Big Boy? We came down on SEX.
Oh, I definitely know 100%. 100%.
So I've kept in touch with her daughter over the years, and so while I'm doing this 20 years, I remade Must Be Nice, of course, but now I'm going to remake SEX, but singing the girl part is going to be her daughter.
Oh,
Wow.
bro. How old is her daughter now?
Her daughter is 22,
Whoa.
I think.
She sings too? Is that what
Yeah,
she's doing right now?
she's a singer. So just want to announce that first. I actually just talked to her 2 days ago, and we was like, yo, let's go ahead and do this. So y'all be looking
Hey,
forward
man,
to that.
and that's such a homage to moms, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And plus those that, like I said, bro, music is a soundtrack. And they're just something like she knew exactly what that moment was that Ani could tap into. You know what I'm saying? I remember just even the first album, Lyfe, bro, I can't tell you. For one, I already said how many copies of the album I purchased. To this day, I still, when I'm flying, that's, how you got a playlist? Like when I fly, I listen to your first Get Down, 26. I listen to 268 192. Like I listen. And I'm telling you, man, what you do with your voice and make your voice such an instrument, and the way that you don't use all the bomb burst fireworks kind of thing. It's just, it's just the man, his voice, beautiful music, and it's stripped down the right way. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get caught up in a lot of the fascinating things that override and we overlook
on purpose.
Because,
on purpose. And I do that on purpose, all the runs and riffs, and it's cool.
Yeah, man.
People do that, but I just try to let it be about the music. Even to this day, when I go perform, people laugh at me, but I wear the same clothes. The exact same. Whatever you see me in LA, you're going to see me in New York, man, because I want it to be about the music. I don't want a distraction to be about my clothes or the different runs that I'm doing, man. I want it to be about this music. Man.
Hey, man, Lyfe, is there a difference between the music side of like R&B now versus R&B back then?
I think everything has become kind of clickbaitish now. And this is not taken away from the new artists. I think a lot of these guys are great. But I think it's almost like who can say the most raunchiest thing to get clicks.
Right.
And back in the day, it wasn't about that. It was
Yeah.
about who could be as subtle as possible. You know what I'm saying? The lady lover was the one that really was in control back in the day.
Right, man. And it's crazy because we don't serenade as much as we used to anymore.
We don't. Do we still at all?
Yeah, but what I'm seeing now, man, I'm starting to see certain things kind of get back in. Because a few years ago, and I've said this many a times, like a few years ago, we were just in this real extremely goofy area. You know what I'm saying? Like it was extremely goofy. Right. And do you find yourself now, man, that it's sometimes harder to present real or good music now because we've been so used to the microwave as opposed to the oven?
Not for me.
Right.
Because this is what when you love doing something, it doesn't matter the reaction that you really get from it because you separated from it. Your purpose keep me grounded in it. So it's never a time that I'm uncomfortable and I feel like I gotta release something modern or trendy.
Right.
Bro, I just do what I've always done, man.
Hey, man, so with where we are today, what's going on with Must Be Nice? Because Must Be Nice was another one that was extremely amazing. You know what I'm saying? So is there a Must Be Nice new version, or what did you do with it? What do you call it?
It's called the Must Be Nice AOU version. We did a video for it.
Yeah,
You
man.
saw the video? Anybody saw the video?
Nah, I'm hip to the song. I'm hip to the way that you redid the song, though.
Yeah, so I redid the song and also the video. I used the same characters from the first video 20 years later. So,
Nah, bro.
Yeah, so a person to be able to, be able to look back at their life and see if they've accomplished, if they on the right track to gain and, whatever it is they want to gain out of life. And it's called the Must Be Nice AOU because AOU is a new platform that I have. It's called Artist Owned Umbrella. And what that is so many people that don't own their masters.
Right.
Like, record labels have, I feel like, unjustly enriched themselves off of the backs of us. So re-recording your masters enables you to now get that master money. So for the audience that's listening, if you do not see AOU at the end of the song, right, then that means that money is going straight to the label. But if you do see AOU at the end of it, that means that all of that money is going straight to the artist. Hence the Must Be Nice AOU.
And what does AOU stand for again?
Artist Owned Umbrella.
Now,
they own a master.
Is that something you created, or that's something you're a part of?
No, that's something I created. That's my thing. Yeah,
How
AOU.
can you get away with that? You just remake the same song, maybe change a couple things to make it different, and that's how you distinguish.
Because we saw the
difference?
same thing. Did Tyler Perry do? Or
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift did that.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
The
and there's some
remastering.
people that say, "Oh, I went to go in and I redid my masters. I redid the song."
Yeah.
And even listening to "Must Be Nice" AOU, you didn't have to stray away from it. Where it's like, man, this don't even sound like
Right. You don't want to do too much because
Right.
people fell in love with it for a reason.
Gotcha.
But you do want to, make it update it a little bit
Right.
so new fans will be able to get it too.
right, and it's yours.
And it belongs to you, man. And I did this, I'm not even charging people to use this pedestal. I just in talks right now with Spotify. Spotify is going to have a Spotify AOU. Pandora is going to have a Pandora AOU. Every platform is going to have a separate AOU that if somebody wanted to just support the artist, they go and only stream AOU.
What made you think of that? Because we know all the way back to the shit. As long as music been around, that artists been getting ripped off. You know what I'm saying? And what made you think and not even for yourself, just to say, man, this is something that we all could eat off of?
Unbeknownst to people, we got an R&B group chat, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's about 100 R&B dudes in there. They be
Oh,
clowning in this group
Is it
chat.
people that I would know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bobby V, Pleasure
Oh,
P,
man.
Genuine, all of us got a huge chat, man. It's crazy.
Oh.
And they be clowning in this chat too.
Oh,
right?
my God. Those are the chats that you can't release either. Somebody can't leak
no,
something.
I would never.
Especially,
but
hey, man, Pleasure people like, man, did y'all hear this garbage-ass performance somebody? Yeah.
Pleasure be clowning. He
Oh,
clown
yeah.
on everybody in the chat. But just, we discuss things. We discuss things like masters. Of course, I don't know if you know that if $1 is spent by a consumer, 75 cents of it is going towards masters. So the other 25 is broke up between the producers and writers and all of this stuff. So the majority of money is made that way. So I just had thought, well, wow, wouldn't it be great if everybody had a tag that could drive the consumer to that
Right.
specific product, man? And hence my catch slogan has always been AOU.
Yeah, AOU.
So
You
I
right
was
there.
like,
Yeah.
I said,
You
wow,
right
look what
there.
God done did already. Even before you wanted it, he gave it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So-
man, so why Must Be Nice? Why did you pick that one? Do you have the whole album done, or are you doing particular singles as the AOU?
I am going to do the whole album. And I picked It Must Be Nice because obviously it's probably one of my biggest songs, I'm most familiar with, and therefore it gave me a bigger platform to tell people about the AOU platform.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it comes from.
And that's good, man. That's like being able to eat off your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Finally, 20 years later, man, it's time.
It's
you know?
crazy because at one point, man, you just want to do the music. You know what I'm saying? Like when you went to the Apollo, when you was in prison, you want to do the music. But then also, man, now you got to get sucked into the music business.
The politics of it.
Yeah, man. Did that ever not take away from the music, man, but did you ever feel like man, sometimes this isn't even worth it? On the business side.
I was one of them dudes. I never was into the business, which could be, like you say, a gift and a curse. The label, one thing I say about Sony never pressured me to make one kind of music or none of that. My whole first album, I got to pick it, I got to write it, I got to do everything that I wanted to do with it, man. So, in answer to that, man, I had a great relationship with Sony. And I don't really even dislike Sony at this point, even though I feel like they owe me money.
Right.
You know, but the point is just that in this business, you know, somebody's going to use you.
Yeah. Oh,
you just got to pick who's going to use you.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And make sure that they don't just misuse you.
Right. And how much you're going to be used.
And how
yeah.
much. Because you don't owe them people forever, man.
Yeah. And I tell people too, man, I say, man, at some point, something's going to be unfair. Somebody's going to rob you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, and even if you go down, and especially early on, tuition into the school of experience, because even like I'm 30 years in the game, bro, and I had a meeting yesterday about certain things in my career. So you're always learning.
And again, whether you're going to do it for free or lowball, if it's worth it to you, like I just hit 50 the other day. I said 50.
Sir.
Well, I put word out to 58. Put me in some of them things you got going on. I'm going to come do it for free.
Right. Just let me get in.
You don't even got to pay my plane ticket.
Right,
and I'm not going to be 20 years down the line, oh, well, 50 didn't do this and 50 didn't do that. What he did is he gave me an opportunity. Mm-hmm. So if 50 listening to this, I said it
and 50 be back here soon. I'll shoot you the date he's coming in, and you can just happen to be here, too. Like, what the hell? Like, man, I've been looking for you, man.
I was just with 50. No, all these years, I had never met 50 before. And 50 was doing this thing in Shreveport. And he had his partner call me and see if I wanted to come down and perform. I was like, hell yeah, I wanted to come down and perform for 50, man. Went down there. 50 rented out the whole city, bro.
Yeah, he did, man.
Wow.
How you rent out the whole city? I see just regular houses, kids wearing 50 cent T-shirts, banners on the side of people's houses, man. Bro, that shit is inspiring.
And I think with Shreveport as well, man, I think he got a yearly. You know, everybody wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody wasn't with it, but the majority.
Hurricane Chris.
There it is. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy too. But you know, but it's just one of them things, man, where you look at something and you also say, man, how can I? You know, maybe it is an uplift the community. Bring the locals in, put some money into the economy. There's bigger pictures too, bro.
Big boy, when I ain't want to cap. It did something for that community, bro. Everybody had a job when that came. Mm-hmm. And when I talk about that he brought the whole city, people always say in their rhymes, I brought the whole city out. No, 50 brought the whole city out, bro. If you could have saw how many, it was like he had a party at a dome, right? They built a dome. They didn't even have a dome big enough to hold it. Yeah. They built it, and it still was a whole nother party with thousands of people outside of the dome that couldn't get in the dome. Yeah.
Hey, man, how was it being just a part of that? You know how sometimes you be like, man, I would just like to go to that, but being a part of it.
I'm going to tell you something I ain't said. So that night, after I performed, right, 50 and them, they invited me to the dome to come out. And the whole day, I'm just watching all of this unfold, right?
Right.
And when I get in this dome, and I see the way, I'm like, man, this dude is really, really popping.
Yeah.
And they hit my phone like, yo, where Lyfe at? You know what I mean? Like, where Lyfe at? I left. Because I say, I ain't got no reason to be celebrating right now.
Right.
He felt bad.
Hey, man. But you know what, Lyfe?
I just left, man.
Hey, man, I understand that, too, because I tell people, I'll say, man, like, why would I go watch you work when I got work to do?
Man, I changed my flight. I was supposed to hang out another day. I changed my flight to the first flight in the morning. I went home, asked my assistant right here, man, I got a lounge now. I got children books out now.
Yeah,
I
man.
got a clothing line.
Hey, bro,
out
talk
there.
to me about the children books, too, man. Children books, The Adventures of Lyfe. Lyfe, like the name.
The Adventures of Lyfe, something I've been working on for a while. Again, just with these kids, because sometimes kids need it in a different way. They not reading no more. And I wanted to contribute to the literacy because bro, reading is a really, really dope thing. It helps with your vocabulary, it helps with your imagination, and it also, you know, you get interested in stuff, it'll lock you in for like a couple hours.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's something to
And
do.
especially sometimes, man, you gotta, it depends on who's telling you the message too and how the message is getting to you. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, man, I wrote a book and my book was published through Cash Money when they started doing book like publications, right? And I remember Baby Stunner, he told me, he said, you know why a lot of people don't read? And I was like, why? A lot of us don't read. And I was like, why? He said, because we haven't told them to. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain stories that, like, there's certain things that I could hear from you about the adventures of life that I probably wouldn't accept from somebody else.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and that's real, bro. And sometimes, man, you know, there were times everybody in this room growing up, you didn't want to be preached to. You didn't want somebody to put their finger in their chest and so on. But then now that you get a little older, you're like, that's what that person was saying.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You need that, bro. And that's why in my music, I never say this person, that person. I always say me.
Right.
Because I think a person could take it better if you're talking about you. They even console you. Like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Right.
And we got this stigma in our culture, man, that, you know, I don't like reading. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I thought, Big Boy, I really thought that I didn't like reading, and I had never even really tried reading. I just thought it until I got incarcerated, and I started reading, and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, it just takes you away, man. It enlarges the scope of things that, you know, you can't go into a $2 million mansion physically and eat cereal in the kitchen and stuff physically, but in your dreams, in your mind, in your imagination, you can do that, man.
Right. Hey, man, and I'm paraphrasing. I know I'm going to mess this up, but you ever heard that when they say, if you want something, you know, you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Put it in a book.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, put it in a book, bro.
Yeah.
Are your books available now? The Adventures of Life? Are they available?
Yeah. So I got a website. It's called theadventuresoflife.com. I
Cleverly hit it there, huh? Yeah, cleverly hit it there, huh?
Yeah. So I could have released it, you know, do a regular press and all that stuff, but I wanted to release it just myself. So I feel like that, you know, I didn't rely on anybody to release it. So that's why I got my website. But it's a 3-book series, and I'm adding a book or 2 to it every single year. So it's just going to grow as time goes on. So next year, of course, I'll go through a real big publication. But for this first year, I just wanted to be off my own steam.
Hey, man, do you trip off of the way the business is now? You know how back in the days, everybody kind of wanted to be on a Sony, on a Def Jam, on a this, on a that. But now with social media and you being the actual brand, you can go straight to the people. Like, you didn't have to wait for Simon & Schuster to come and say, oh, yeah, we're green light your book. You're like, nah, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's, bro, it's like you be talking all the right stuff. It's like we wait on validation from people that don't share our vision.
Yeah, man.
You know, they have a different vision, and usually, not always, their vision is compensation driven. You know, not culturally driven, not empowerment driven, or any of that stuff. So it kind of infuses your purpose with a lot of capitalism, you know, and things that don't really have nothing to do with your original purpose. So again, by releasing your own thing and going straight to the consumer, you don't have to deal with all of these subjectalities and all these other things that don't necessarily in line with your personal goal.
Man, have you been really subscribing to that? Like, I'll do it myself?
Bro, I do like my clothing, not the plug or whatever. I got my own print shop.
Right.
I don't get my clothes made or do none of that stuff.
Do you do your merch through there too?
Do my own stuff. I got heat presses. I got big Q. I got what they call them.
So you went and got it all.
I got it all. Like you see, it's in my garage.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying, yeah, man.
Yeah,
everything me.
And it's got to be. What about when it comes to like your tours and everything? Are you very hands on with that as well?
Yeah, and I used to have a huge team. Now all I have is my assistant, my road manager, and sometimes I use booking agents. But I keep it simple, man. Super
simplicity.
Simple.
Yeah, man. And plus, man, you already know, and that's what happens, man. And I tell people this, and I've said it many a times, man. I said life, whatever you do, and I mean LIFE, life is like mathematics. And I tell people, I say, man, there's certain times when you take, okay, let's take addition. You know, you want to add years to your life. So you probably like, oh, okay, I'm going to eat right. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do this, whatever. That's addition. Then multiplication. Oh, okay, I want to multiply my wisdom, multiply my cash flow, whatever that is. That's multiplication. Then you got division. Man, how do I divide my time between my fan base, my kids, my this? So now you got to learn division. And then subtraction is one of the biggest one. How do I subtract all this bullshit? How do I subtract all these negative people? So subtraction, man, like when you say you had a big team and you had this, and then you realize the subtraction, like, nah, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't need that. But it takes time to arrive there too.
Simplicity is better.
Yeah.
That's delegation is spiritual too.
Right.
You know, you have to be able to not kill yourself by doing everything. You have to just delegate. One of the coldest things that lately that I heard, it talked about animals of all things. It was just like that a lot of people think that you are this animal's master, that you are this animal's, like you basically this is your slave right here. But they have a word for it. I forget the word that he said, but really, you're not this animal's master. You are this animal's keeper. You are this animal's protector. And that's like any idea that you have. This is not yours. You know what I'm saying? This is already here. You are the keeper of that idea. You are the protector of that idea, and you got to delegate it accordingly.
Hey, man, and it's crazy because when you start to blow out more candles of life, you get these moments where it's like,
And I done blew a lot of them.
Yeah, but also, man, you think like, and I never think like, oh, if I would have known this back then, I'm like, well, shit, I know it now.
Yeah.
I know it now, bro. I know it now, man. I want to thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. What's going down music-wise with you, too? Like, what's next?
Music.
Not even music, just what's next?
Music is next.
Right.
So I got the double EP coming to where I redid a couple of my joints, and I got some new joints. It's a thing I have called a 6-pack. So I got one 6-pack, and then I have another 6-pack that's coming right with it, and it's rap. So I'm rapping, right? Because these kids need it in a different package. I still want to give them the message, and if they don't want to listen to the old school R&B, here goes something in your package.
Right.
Like you said, I got the children book series that's out. The Adventures of Life.com, they can get them there. I got the clothing line, Repetition. It's an elephant basically with a little string tied to his leg and his post. And I don't know if y'all know when an elephant is a baby, they chain the leg to a post so it never gets away. It tries throughout its life. Finally, once it's older, they take the chain and they just put a little string and tie it to a post. But the elephant never even tries to get away anymore because it thinks it's tied to it. And how many things in our life, how many things in our life are we still tied to that we can really get away from now? Hence that clothing brand is called Repetition. It's a part of my intellectual fashion, brand. What else? I got a new platform. It's called Yeno.
Yeah, what is Yeno?
So Yeno backwards is one day. So my platform is coming early next year, and please be a part of it if you can, bro. So we always so used to seeing celebrities with the camera pointed at them, like somebody chasing you around or whatever. So what Yeno is, I have a patent camera that some of my guys designed for me, and you put it on, and you go through your entire day with this camera strapped to your chest, so they get your own personal POV, whether you at a celebrity ball, if you're doing a show, whatever it is, it's from there. And it's a platform, and fans be able to pay from $10 to $30 to view your day. You know what I'm saying? That's called Yeno. One day. You get like 6-8 hours with Big Boy from his point of view. That's coming next year. We just finished our website. It's coming next year. And then after that.
So you're giving us opportunities so we all can eat.
Bro, and listen, let me tell you what the bread is for this. Let's say yours. You do $20 for your day. A day you was gonna have anyway. You going to host something at
right
Grammy party,
and you get as many people in on your dinner for that one day. You get, it's not like it's just me and Ani goes on. It could be 10, 50, 100 people that
100,000.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. You get 100,000 people on there, and it's $20 per person to get on there for a day you was gonna have anyway. It's $2 million that you made.
Hey man, let me tell you, bro. If I got $20 in that one day, I'm up. You know what I'm saying? Like
what you was gonna have anyway.
I'm
right?
like, man, hell yeah. Like I was gonna do this anyway.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Oh my God, bro.
And I want to do it.
And that's
with
a whole
everybody.
different thing when people are like, oh, you know, we got these sound checks now. We got like, man, that's everywhere for people to make money.
50 Cent said he was gonna do it for me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Snoop is still on the fence. We don't still waiting on you to call me back.
Hey
Snoop.
man, well let's not talk too much because I need to get in on the
You
I'm talking about on the earlier side. You know what I'm saying?
So we doing that, but all of this is cool. I like all this, but most of this is not my passion. My passion is really off of writing and producing, and I have a movie company. I've already shot one movie, so I really want to get all of this stuff locked in so I could really go to do what I want to do, which is, you know, writing movies and producing movies and, you know, all of that stuff, man.
Did you do the Must Be Nice AOU, like the video? Did you produce that, direct it? I mean,
Yeah, that's actually was my second one. So my first one, if you go look at it, is called Till You Gone.
Uh-huh.
You gotta see the video. My visual is crazy. It's called Till You Gone.
was it your idea to go back for Must Be Nice and say, no, we need to get some of the originals that were in here, like down there 20 years later?
Everything.
Yeah, that's a
directed
different
by
vision.
Me.
Yeah.
Directed by me, man.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. But all we got is one copy. That's all we bought.
Is this the book right here?
Yeah, this is my series. I thought we bought 3 copies for everybody.
Man, I just want to see it, to tell you the truth, bro.
I don't know how old y'all kids is, man, but that's that's my 3-book series right there, man.
I love this, man. Oh, Diamond in here too? Hello. She illustrated by?
Oh, wow.
Diamond, yeah,
Man.
it's a good thing.
I love it, bro. Congratulations to you once again, bro.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you once again, man. And God, look at this. Look how God worked. We here.
I'm trying to be the next 50, man. I'm
Yeah,
trying
tell
to
me
rent
about it, man.
Shreveport out.
Hell yeah. Hey, man, and I remember, dude, we've had 50 in the neighborhood many a times. You know what I'm saying? And I remember a young 50 coming into the neighborhood, and that's when, you know, I got a meal out the deal. You know what I'm saying? He under Eminem. And now when you see this dude now, this dude is, you don't even say rapper 50 Cent. You just say 50 Cent. The same thing with Dog. When you say Snoop, it's like this dude went and did the Olympics his way. You know, and Fifth can get on, and I always tell Fifth, I say, man, you could be the pettiest motherfucker sometimes on social media, but you still get these deals. You know what I'm saying?
Please say I owe you some money, 50. So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
numbers can go up.
And it's crazy too, because even with Fifth, man, like he made us watch Stars as a network.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He made us watch Stars, bro, as an app, as a network, because you had to go there to either get Power or the book, and it was right there.
And if you notice, he kind of sneaky too, right? Like, because if you watch Power, he always got one character in there that's trying to get out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Then the spinoff game. Dude is
Yes.
ridiculous, man.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
Dude is ridiculous. And all you got to do is soak up game and soak up knowledge, bro.
And that's what I do, man.
There it is. Life, thank you for being in the neighborhood, my
man.
brother.
Thank y'all for having me again. As always, for your complete support, even stuff you didn't forgot about, man. I
Man,
appreciate
we're going to
you.
do it again and again. And plus, with 2025, we got so much to talk about, too, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, being there with business partners. All righty, that was Life in
do
the
it.
Neighborhood, man. Big Boy's
Big
Neighborhood.
Boy.